Hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to Moneycontrol. I'm Karunya Rao. With me is Manisha Gupta. And Manisha, the metals pack has started 2023 on a rather strong note and they still continue to trade around the higher end of the spectrum. Don't tell me it's the China factor again at play. Is it?
Okay, not saying that, but that has been factored in. The markets have been opening up, but on-ground demand is yet to start coming in. But it is also about the decline in US dollar, the economic data from China that came in today, whether it has been about retail sales, manufacturing data or the GDP numbers were slightly better than what the street was anticipating. It is still weaker than what we saw in the previous month and the previous year, and it's definitely lower than what the markets were anticipating, but we still have a slightly better number, and that clearly has been supportive. So whether you look at copper, which is trading at a 7-month highs, aluminum which is trading at a 6-month highs, and zinc prices which also have gained up by nearly 8% in this year, clearly a very positive trade.
In fact, copper, I want you to elaborate on what's happening there, because copper has seen a very strong rally. Copper stocks are also seeing, the likes of Hind Copper, etc., which have seen good momentum. So what is happening in copper specifically? What are the levels to watch? And despite the 7-month rally, 7-month high levels, should one look at investing for the long haul?
So 3 things to watch out in copper. One is that Peru is going through a lot of political unrest. Chile has already said that there's going to be 3.5 to 6% of a cut in output in 2023. That is supportive. And the third factor is that from where we'll stand right now, the inventories are just about for 2 days of global consumption. So if you actually see demand come up from China on ground, you are looking at much higher prices in case of copper. But your point is well taken. We've seen a rally already in hope of all of this demand. So the markets will watch out for the US Fed meeting now.
Yeah.
The third important point, Karunya, is that the US Fed book has started to cut or shrink its numbers now. Remember, there was so much of money printing that we were at $8 to $9 trillion of money printing
so
now. So that winding down has started to happen. So $500,000 is done. If we are looking at $1 trillion being taken off in the next 3 to 6 months, that means that money is getting sucked out of the market. That isn't such a great news for the metal producers or the people who are watching equity, because that liquidity is getting out of the market. That is what the street is worried about. So it is the reason you wouldn't see a very strong run up into the markets, and is also the reason that next 2, 3, 4 months, once this money starts to getting sucked out, you will see pressure come back in case of the space.
So is it correct to say that we're close to the peak?
From where we stand right now, if that liquidity or that book winding is going to happen, then yes, we are.
Okay, so we're close to the peak on some of these very critical metals, aluminum, copper and even zinc, which is looking quite firm right now. So if you had indeed invested, you can think of perhaps, if not wholly, but partly booking profit right now, because the next 2-3 months, we could see some plateauing happening. That's what, Manisha can see some plateauing happening according to her expertise and the chat she's had with a host of analysts across the board. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in.